is the three things that you must do well in order to succeed at YouTube. I would say content creation in general, in order to increase the amount of revenue and the amount of leads that are coming in from content creation itself. And it's something we talk about quite frequently, but we very rarely get into the details, the nuance, and give you examples of what we're talking about. That's exactly what we're going to do today. So first and foremost, where do we start, Josh? Let's start over on my channel. We go to the back end analytics. This is for the George Gammon channel, by the way. And you can see right now we've got 61 million total views. Looks like estimated revenue. Now, keep in mind, this is just the revenue that I've been paid from YouTube. This isn't the amount of revenue that I've been paid for, the school community that I have for Rebel Capitalist Pro or Rebel Capitalist Live or any of the other things that I do. And this is a great example, what Josh always says, that when you generate leads from content creation, usually there's a negative outlier. How do you say it, Josh? You've got a way to phrase that.
It's a negative cost to acquire customers. So everyone's always trying to figure out what is your cost per lead, or really the cost per client or cost per customer. It's always going up, but with YouTube, it allows you to have a negative cost to acquire.
And sometimes a substantial negative cost to acquire. My negative cost to acquire over the last 5 years is $370,000. So I've been paid $370,000 to basically generate leads for everything else I do. But what I wanted to focus on is really the difference between when I started posting videos. This was right around August of 2019. You can see that the entire channel was getting right around 20. That's 20, not 20,000, 20 views per day, the entire channel. And then we went from 20 views a day to 30,000, 40,000, 70,000 views a day. How did this happen? Well, one of the main reasons is because I started to really understand the three things that we're going to talk about today. This can turbocharge your channel like nothing else. And also, it takes it from just luck to something that is within your control. And I'm talking about success on YouTube or content creation. So if you're doing these three things well, it's not a matter of if you will achieve your goals or if you will be successful. It's simply a matter of when. So what made the huge difference here? Let's go over to the channel and let me give you guys some specific videos that illustrate this perfectly. So we'll go to videos, we'll go to oldest. So the very first thing of the three that we're going to talk about, thumbnail, right? So you have to have a great thumbnail. It's not an option. You have to have a great thumbnail if you want to optimize on the video in terms of views. Get people to click on it, right? Because it doesn't matter how great the content is. If people don't click on the video, guess what? No one's going to watch it. So it doesn't matter. So before you even get to how the content component of it, you got to focus on these three things. And number one is thumbnail. So look at how bad these, like episode 1, who cares? Who cares? And this is actually a great example of what not to do with the second thing as well, which is the title. So episode 1, Macro Real Estate Investing Show, episode 1. Why on earth would anyone click on this? The answer is they wouldn't, because this, especially if they don't know who I am, this is just a random video that pops up on their phone. There's no way anyone's going to click on this because it sucks. It's terrible. It's just there's so many things wrong with this. So the first thing that's wrong is the thumbnail doesn't grab your attention. So if I'm scrolling through any videos, if I see this, I'm just scrolling past it. The second thing here, moving on to the title, is Macro Real Estate Investing Show. This doesn't create any curiosity whatsoever. None. Literally, in fact, the opposite of curiosity. It repels people. And then the next thing I'm doing wrong is I'm just repeating what I already stated in the thumbnail. So in the thumbnail, it says episode number 1. So why am I saying it again in the title? This is just a waste of, call it title real estate, where I could have put something in there that would be more engaging and would create more curiosity. So this is a perfect example of what not to do. So now let's click on the video, and I'm sure I'll give you another example of what not to do. The third thing, and that's going to be the hook. So this is obviously tough to watch, but I guess I'm commenting on episode of Macro Voices. But you guys can't hear this, but I'll tell you the first things I say. Okay, so what I said right there is I just reiterate what was in the thumbnail. Then I reiterate what was just also in the title. So I've done it 3 times now. I just said, welcome to episode number 2 of the Macro Real Estate Investing Show, or whatever it was. So this is, people are already clicking off. I mean, in fact, you know what would be fun, Josh? Oh, we already did this, because if I go to the analytics, it's actually going to look good. But that's simply because like fans from today go back and watch it just to see how bad it was. So then they watch the whole thing because they just want to laugh and make fun of me. So I'll bet you the analytics are actually pretty good. But usually the analytics would be horrific on this. So the 3 things that we're going to talk about in this video, and I'm going to show you specific examples of: number 1, thumbnail; number 2, title; number 3 is going to be the hook. And this video is a great example of how I completely and utterly failed at all 3 of those, and why the channel, when I first started it, was only getting 20 views per day. Now, let's that I've thoroughly humiliated myself here, let's go to the latest videos and see if there's any difference. So here is this is a video I just did 9 days ago. It's got 306,000 views. So let's check this one out and see if we can see a difference. Okay, so first of all, here's our thumbnail title over here. So Josh, you can see that, right? This thumbnail?
Yes.
Okay, so it's me here in front of a whiteboard. We did a black background on this because we wanted to emphasize the red bar just going, or candlestick, just going straight down. And then to add more emphasis to it, we've got a red arrow. This red arrow, as you're scrolling, is really going to catch your eye. And then we've got Michael Burry within the space. Everyone knows who he is. So this immediately, we've got a red arrow. Even if this didn't have a title, you would know that, wait a minute, something bad is happening, something bearish, maybe a black swan event, because it's a red arrow. It's this horrible looking candlestick, and it's Michael Burry, who I remember from The Big Short, or I remember this guy because he made a ton of money in the financial crisis. So something, I need to watch this. I'm now curious, because what's going on? This is kind of freaking me out here if I've got a 401k or whatever it is. And that's exactly what you want to do with a thumbnail. You can just compare that to the last one that we showed from the
episode
number 2. And then you combine that. Now, what we want to do with the title is we want to have good interplay between that thumbnail and the title. And it's not necessarily clickbait. People get that wrong. It's clickbait. No. What clickbait is if you click on the video based on the thumbnail title and the video is on something completely different. That is clickbait, and you don't want to do that. But that's a lot different than just creating curiosity, right? Because look at this title. Wall Street insiders just revealed a $52 trillion financial time bomb. Now, that's exactly what I'm talking about in the video. Exactly. So you can say, well, that's exaggerating or hyperbole. Actually, not really. If you watch the whole video, it's actually pretty straightforward. That's again exactly what I'm talking about in the video. But you see this title and you think about that as far as the interplay with the thumbnail. And if you're curious enough, if that thumbnail caught your attention, now you read this title, now you got to click on the video. You're like, holy cow, now I really need to know what happened. And then you go and you watch the video, and now let's see the hook. So I guess, Josh, you couldn't hear that. So what I said is I just met with 2 Wall Street insiders, and what they were talking about was terrifying. And then the very next thing I said is, now I can't reveal the entire conversation because of confidentiality, but I'm going to try to reveal everything I can. Okay, so I say most of the conversation, of course, was completely confidential, but I want to reveal the main talking points so you can be aware of this $52 trillion time bomb that is set to explode. So now all of a sudden, okay, whoa, time out. So I clicked on, I first stopped on the video because of this thumbnail got my attention. And then I got really curious because of this title and the interplay between the two. And now all of a sudden, the guy's talking that he had like this secret closed door meeting with these Wall Street. I mean, who was it? And what did they say? And why was it terrifying? And oh my gosh. And now I've really got to watch. So you see what we're doing throughout this entire process. We're building the curiosity to where it's just getting more and more and more like difficult to look away. Josh, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, you're building curiosity and tension if someone's on the homepage, because
Tension,
YouTube
that's
is
a good word. You're building the tension.
YouTube is very different than other social media like Instagram. If you're scrolling on Instagram, the algorithm feeds you a video. You have no choice if you see it or not. But for YouTube, you have so many options if you're on the homepage, and your video is competing with other videos. So there has to be a reason why someone is going to choose to watch your video. No one's YouTube's not just going to give you views. It's people on the other side of the screen that are choosing to watch your video instead of someone else's. And so the title thumbnail is the reason that you're giving them to watch your video as opposed to every other option that they have. And then the hook is confirming why they clicked and keeping another reason why they need to stay. And if you just change those three things, you can completely change how many views you're getting, which I can show you with Ken's channel that I just pulled up here, George.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right when I started with Ken, he was getting anywhere from 500 views to 10,000 views, which is still very good.
He's got 22,000.
We did not change a single thing with his content. We didn't change what he was talking about it, how he was talking about it, the topics. All we changed were the three things: the title, the thumbnail, and the hook, to confirm why they click better. And that went from getting a few thousand views per video to 200,000+ views per video instantly. Just by changing.
Just scroll back down really quick. Scroll back down just to right there, right there. So let's look at that thumbnail, the purple one, navigating uncertainty in real estate. And it's just live at limited, whatever, or limitless. And then power of belief featuring Michael Chandler, investing in 2024. And Kenny's got some goofy look on his face. This is like, no one's really gonna. And not only that, but go to that other one where there's all those words. Like there's too many words in that one, right?
Yeah.
Right there.
It's just confusing. Unveiling the banking crisis, the bank term funding program exposed. I'm confused. Tension and curiosity is not the same as confusion or cleverness. A lot of people try and be clever for their titles and thumbnails, but that's the opposite of what you want to do. If I can't understand it within 2 seconds of glimpsing, it is not a good title or thumbnail.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it. It's like newsletter writers historically have tried to always be clever with the title of their blog post or the title of their report or their white paper or something. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's the opposite of what you want to do.
And so let's compare that to this title and thumbnail, which was the first video that I took over. It was just
that's more like mine. That's more like mine. And you can do that quickly, but go up to some of the thumbnails that where you're able, like when Josh does a thumbnail for me, he only has like 5 minutes to do it. But if he has like 5 hours, he comes up with things that are more like that. Yeah, there you go.
And so, I mean, this is a very complex thumbnail that I don't actually have the skill to do, but I have a lot of thumbnail designers on payroll, and it is a 24+ hour turnaround time. Now you can actually replicate this style of thumbnail with AI to a pretty good degree, but this is complex. The amount of assets that go into this.
Yeah. So, and then so we've got the visual. So that's interesting right away. 33, you've got this stack of money. Then 56, you've got a much bigger stack of money. Then it says how I turned 116,000 into 3 billion. So what I want people to focus on here is the psychology behind what makes this work is the exact same psychology behind what makes my video work. Now, my video was a little more, let's just say doom and gloom or something like that, where, oh my gosh, what's happening? Oh, holy cow, I've got to click on this. And then I delivered in the video, by the way, because I don't know if you saw the number of likes, but it was almost 10,000 likes on that video. That's how you tell it's not clickbait, by the way. But getting back to Kenny, this isn't, let's just say, doom and gloom. This is the opposite of that. It's how to make money, how to make money. But the psychology behind what's going on behind the scenes is the exact same. Exact same. Number one, thumbnail, you're getting people to stop. There's something there where you're engaging with the viewer that's engaging to where the viewer is going to want to stop scrolling and say, wait a minute, what's happening here? And then when they go down to the title is increasing the curiosity. Or what was the word that you used, Josh?
There's tension. And this is an unbelievable factor. If I was looking on YouTube and someone turned $100,000 into 3 billion, I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. That does not seem realistic or in the realm of possibilities. So I want to find out, what is this real? How did he do it? What did he do? And so you're sparking other questions in someone's head that the only way to answer is by clicking on the video to find out. And that's your job with the hook, to confirm those undelivered questions that people have when looking at your title and thumbnail.
And increase. It's not just to confirm, but increase the level of
and so the way that we did it with this video is, first off, Ken explains, hey, I turned $116,000 into 3 billion. But then the way that we increased curiosity was, he said, I didn't start until I was in my early 30s. And so then you're thinking, wait a minute, how is it possible that this guy started in his 30s and now he has all this money? So now I really want to find out, because
you're building even more tension. Even more tension.
You want that to be you. And so you want to continuously find out what he was doing.
Yeah, and even if you don't want that to be you, you're curious as to how the hell he did this. Like, obviously it's not working a 9-to-5 gig. And so like how on earth did this happen? Even if I'm not, interested in putting forth the effort to do it myself, it's still a story I want to hear.
Yeah. So there's 3 metrics that everyone has to look at. And so when we say title and thumbnail, the way that you know if you're doing a good job is, in the back end, it's called click-through rate, or CTR. That is an undeniable metric to know if you are fulfilling the curiosity and tension in your packaging or not. If you don't have a high CTR, which George is going to pull up in the back end analytics right now, then you know that you're doing something wrong. The second thing is the retention. Do people stay? If you are not confirming and adding additional curiosity, people are going to click on your video and then click right off. So let's take up this analytics right here.
Okay, so here's the overview for that that video I was just referring to that has 306,000 views. So this had 47,000 hours of watch time. This gained 3,000 subscribers, just this video itself. And YouTube paid me basically $1,500 for this this video. So the negative cost of acquisition, or whatever Josh calls it, and by the way, I think I might have pitched Rebel Capitalist Pro on this one, I think. And so if this was
whatever, if you had a business and 300,000 people saw your ad, and instead of you having to pay Facebook 20 grand to do that, YouTube pays you $1,500, that's a pretty good deal.
No, but this is, Josh, this is the one where I just kind of subtly pitched Rebel Capitalist Pro at the end. And I probably got, let's say, 20 sales from this. So let's think about it here. I got paid $1,500 to generate leads that turned into 20 sales. And those 20 sales are at $97 a month. So you got 20 sales times
$2 grand a month,
97. And then let's just say on average, they say 6 months. So that's 2,000 times 6. So that was, say, $12,000. So I made $12,000 from this video from Rebel Capitalist Pro, but yet I was paid $1,500 to generate those leads that translated into the $12,000 of income. Okay.
All right.
So now let's go over.
If you're in your analytics, you're on the video, and then you click right there at reach if you want to track this for yourself. And I recommend everyone should do this, because you are going to realize how bad you suck really quickly.
Or how good you're doing. Yeah. So right here, this click-through rate is 5.2, but you'll notice this is really what you want to pay attention to is the first couple days up to 6.2, and then it's going to decrease. Now, the 6.2, not great. I would have liked to have seen it maybe 7 or 8 after the first.
That's also on 3.5 million impressions. So the more impressions that it gives you, the more unique people that YouTube is showing this to that have a broader and broader interest in the topic that you're doing.
Right.
And so the better a video does, the lower the click-through rate will get. So what really matters is your impression to click-through rate metric.
There you go. There you go. So it's like a ratio that you got. You should think about it in terms of a ratio, guys. So let's just say that you have 3 million impressions. 6% probably would have been good, maybe 6.5. But if you only would have had 10,000 impressions, then a 6% click-through rate would be terrible. You would want what, Josh? 10%, 8%, 9%?
Yeah. So some real numbers. I work with Jeff Snyder. And in the first 5 hours, when we post a video, we want upwards of 15 to 20% click-through rate. And that's still on hundreds of thousands of views. But that's what we get pretty much every time to his core audience. When you build and develop a core audience, we know how to trigger curiosity and tension in those core group of people. And then what we do after 5 hours, a broader audience does not have the same interest as the core audience. So a little like super hardcore tactic is we change the title and thumbnail to broaden it out. So when it gets pushed out to more people, they still have interest in that topic, but it ends up getting down to around 7 to 8% after 2 days.
Okay. And that's usually a video that gets how many impressions total?
I don't know how many impressions. I could reverse engineer it or just pull up his backend, but a video that gets 75,000.
It's going to be less than 3 million.
Definitely a lot less.
Yeah, because the total views, just so everyone's following us, because the total views on Jeff's video might be 50 or 60 grand compared to this one that got 300. Okay, so now let's go over to.
Well, the second thing was the retention.
That
right. Someone needs to look at. So the first thing, your click-through rate. If you have a poor click-through rate, your video is not being shown to people. And then the hook that George was talking about, once someone clicks on the video, let's see what it's supposed to look like.
Right here. This is exactly what it's supposed to look like, guys. You want this line right here as flat as possible. It's never going to be totally flat because people will gradually click off the video. But especially in this first 30 seconds, I had 68%. And again, this is a little misleading because this video has so many views. If it only got like 100,000, this would probably be 73, 74% of the people would be still here after 30 seconds or so. And that's really what you want to see. What most people's retention graph would look like right here is, I'm not kidding you, it would go straight down like this to where after 30 seconds, they might have 30% of the people would still be watching after 30 seconds. So that's why that hook is also just crucially important. Now, Josh, what I want to do, we looked at this video for the last video that we discussed on the Rebel Capital's Business Accelerator channel. But let's go through and just kind of critique this video. And I know you can't hear the audio, but just look at the thumbnail right here, GeoCell Grid Game Changer. So this is not a highly produced thumbnail, but it's doing a great job. Because if I'm specifically looking for what I typed in here, steep driveway solutions, and this pops up, I'm like, oh, I know what this technique is. And this is exactly what I want to find out about. And it looks like in the video, they're going to show me kind of an actual example of them doing this. And therefore, this is interesting to me. And then they combine that with how we fixed our steep driveway, gravel and GeoCell grid installation. So they could have actually improved on this quite a bit. See how they put GeoCell grid? They didn't have to put that in the title. They could have put something else in the title to really increase that tension.
Like what I would say is we fixed our steep driveway in like 2 days or in 48 hours.
There
because
you
then
go.
you give a time frame on it.
Yep,
and now
yep.
I know what you're going to get with the GeoCell grid, and I want this done fast.
Yeah. And another thing, and how we fixed it in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Meaning that the videos, I'm going to show you this really, really quickly. In 15 minutes,
Yeah.
you're going to know how I did this whole thing and how you can do it yourself or something like that. So then we click on the hook here, the first 30 seconds. Okay, so they've got this tractor thing. This is not the greatest. They could have done better here too. They're showing, I don't need to see this because although it is confirming that what I'm going to see is them working on a driveway as opposed to what would be worse is like a talking head video. They're like in their office. That's what you don't want. So I know that I'm going to get to see what I clicked on the video for, but I think they could have done a lot better at adding the tension and curiosity here.
Yeah, I'm sure every single person has watched a tutorial on how to fix something in their house or in their car, and the person spends the first 3 minutes updating you on something that has nothing to do with why you clicked on the video.
Absolute worst. Don't do that. That's see, this is terrible too. So another thing, guys, if you're tempted to just brand or do some sort of branding thing in the first 6 seconds or whatever, just forget that. Nobody cares. Like nobody cares about that. I already see the name of the channel is Colorado Mountain Living. I don't need to see this again. And I'm clicking on this video. I don't care what the name of your channel, like I don't care about any of this stuff. Just show me what I care about. Because if you don't show me what I care about, I'm going to click off the video. Like pure and simple. I'm going to click off the video. And you say, George, this has 630,000 views. Yeah, I get it. But guess what? If they wouldn't have done these things wrong, this would have 1 million views.
And
Absolutely.
it's also how many other videos are competing for this. So especially if you have a small business, what you don't realize is there's no competition for people that have local small businesses online. So there's a place for you to dominate. If this person got 600,000 views on such a simple thing, if I was selling this solution, we would dominate this niche because this is the best. This is the best competition.
That's a great point. Yeah, if the only guy you have to beat is this guy, that's good news. It's like, how do you survive a bear attack? Just run faster than your buddy or whatever.
Yeah.
That's like exactly what's going on here. Yeah. So okay, so but obviously they did some great things in this video. I don't want to be too hard on them. Now they go into what? So now she just does a quick, okay, here's who I am, and here's what you're going to see in the video. And you see like the work site or whatever it is. And now you're like, okay, this is exactly what I tuned in for. So they actually should have started the video with this. They should have just completely deleted.
And what they should have done is just have her talking and overlay the B-roll to confirm both at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. Good call. Let's see what she does next. So did you, you can't hear her, Josh, but she repeated the name of the channel again. She said, Colorado. She said, hi, my name is blah, blah, blah from Colorado Mountain Living. It's like, dude, you said, okay, I see the name of the channel. It already popped up. I don't care about it. And you're wasting another 3 or 4 seconds. This is just, they've done some things well here. But man, this tells you, again, goes back to what Josh, this is such good news because it shows you that you don't have to be Mr. Beast in order to be successful at YouTube. You just have to be better than all the other people in your niche that most likely suck. All right, let's see here. Okay, so now she gets into it, and that's where I don't want to keep going here because you guys can't hear it. But let's go to, what's another random channel we could go to, Josh, really quick here. What do you think?
I don't know what that mechanic, dude.
Give me just a topic, a random topic. What do we think here? I say
the last thing that I had to search up that was embarrassing as I was like, I got a flat tire and I had absolutely no clue how to fix it a few years ago.
Okay. Fix flat tire. How to plug a tire. Okay, so this is slime tire sealant. So this is a great example of a business that's generating leads. And they've got 869,000 views on this video. And they only have 26,000 subscribers. So this is obviously a channel for their business to generate leads, to generate revenue. It's a 1-minute video, which is great because if I'm just looking to do something really quick, I don't want a 45-minute video on it. I just want something quick. Bam, 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 bam. And the thumbnail is good because it's showing me that this is what I'm gonna get in the video, a step 1, step 2, step 3. It's showing me the tire, how to plug a tire. I mean, this is for this type of video, this is exactly what you want. You don't really want to build curiosity or tension with this, right? It's totally different. This is an example of just a how-to video. You want to make it clear, crystal clear, and then just deliver as fast as you possibly can. So
I
on
would
this
say
one,
the thumbnail is how you spark the curiosity for that. Because if this was a picture of this dude's face that owned the channel, no one would watch it. It would have 0 views. But because you put the tire in it, and this, if the way they could have added additional curiosity is if they circled in red that plug-in tire and then say, "Don't do this."
I
And
was
then you're
just gonna
like,
say,
"Well,
"Don't do this."
like,
Yeah.
what do you mean, don't do this? I don't even know what that means." And
Yeah,
then you have to find out.
especially, let's assume this slime thing was like a product where you don't have to do the typical things that would be necessary for plugging a tire. And so this is a completely different way of doing it. And so if you showed a picture of what 99% of the people out there know to be true and say, don't, whatever you do, don't do this, like danger or something like that. And then you go into why your product is even better. That's ideal. Like that's really how you generate that tension, that curiosity, because now people are like, oh my gosh, well, I don't want to blow up my house, or I don't want to,
Yeah.
why is that dangerous? And then they click on your video and see why your product is even better. But I would argue with this video, the first 5 seconds is going to be paramount. That is going to make or break the whole entire video. So let's click on it here. Okay, so what they just said right there, Josh, is repairing a flat tire is easy. And they've got some upbeat music, and then they show you right here how they're going to do it. And that's the first 2 seconds. So that's why I think one of the main reasons this video was so successful is because it had a good thumbnail, that a title that was straightforward, which is a good title for that specific type of video, how to. And then in the first 2 seconds, you know that they're going to deliver on exactly what you clicked on the video for, as far as the content.
And so just to recap, to check this, go to the analytics, check out what your CTR or click-through rate is. You want that to be as high as humanly possible. And then what your retention graph looks like. And if you make videos, you will probably be shocked with how bad your retention is and how bad your click-through rate is, which is good. Which means if you just fix these very simple things, it's a very easy fix as to how to blow up your channel.
Absolutely. And as a reminder, guys, we set up that free school
so if you want
community.
Me to roast them, if you put your titles and thumbnails in the school community, I'm going to go through, and I am terrible. Everybody hates it because I'm super mean, and I'll tell you how bad you are.
There you go. But that's what you want. You want truth, right? You don't want sugarcoating, especially if you're a business owner and this is all about your bottom line. So check out that free school community. We'll put a link in the description below. It's called Rebel Capitalist Business Accelerator. You can join for free. You can post your thumbnails, post one of your videos, post your hook, post whatever. And Josh will go in there and rip it to pieces. But it's
maybe we'll make a video on it, George. We can make a video roasting your videos as to what you can do better.
But then telling the person how to improve.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. So check out that free school community, Rebel Capitalist Business Accelerator, link in the description below. And as always, make sure you're standing up for free and liberty, free market capitalism. We'll see you in the next video.